It's the best of 2019. We are looking back at the biggest and most impactful stories of the year.
King family, welcome home.
Wow. From the emotional moments that touched us all,
Are you trying to make me cry? Well, it just warms my heart.
to the fun moments that made us dance, and some unforgettable animal tales.
My best day ever!
Plus so much more. We have all the best moments on City Source, the best of 2019. Hello and welcome to this special edition of City Source. I'm Thomas Gandy, and we are taking a look back at the biggest and most memorable stories of 2019. And perhaps no story touched as many people as this one. The city teamed up with corporate sponsors and the nonprofit Operation Finally Home to provide a mortgage-free home to a veteran. We followed the story from groundbreaking to dedication.
All right, King family, welcome home.
Wow.
Keys to your new home.
Retired U.S. Army Major Eric King and his children are walking into their brand new home.
This ours.
It is all nicely furnished and mortgage-free.
Mom, you ready to cook?
He's getting his first look around and ready to make it his own. It is a day for celebration.
I think people went over and beyond. There are some true Americans out there who have really shown their thanks to what I've done for our country, the sacrifices I've made.
Those sacrifices came over a 16-year military career, which included tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. His long service,
You'll always be gone, deployed.
combined with severe injuries and PTSD, were tough on him and his family.
I felt helpless because there was nothing I could do.
Over time, he would find treatment, support,
Mayor King,
and later, a surprise.
Man, I wasn't expecting this.
Last July, he found out the charity Operation Finally Home would be giving him a mortgage-free home. The city of Irving donated this lot, and other partners stepped up to get construction going.
Because it's important to me, I want to say the right thing where it's heartfelt.
As the home began to take shape, volunteers filled the walls with messages of hope and inspiration, all part of a tradition called Notes of Love.
I'm surrounded by love. American love 360 all the way around.
That day in November, before even one piece of sheetrock was in place, was the last time he was here.
This is going to be a roll-in shower.
After that visit, Operation Finally Home recommends he keeps away to maximize the impact to come.
I've had some relatives that come by and they would come and tease me. Man, can I live in your house? I'm like, damn, what you see.
He is about to find out for himself. 9 months after his first ride to the site, Patriot Guard riders again join the caravan that is bringing him home. And at the home site, anticipation is building.
That's the thing, right, is the excitement for them to finally get to come home.
A lot of the volunteers and sponsors who were part of the project are here to celebrate this dedication day.
And it's just such an exciting time.
When he arrives, the crowd and sight of his new home are overwhelming.
Hold on, give me a minute.
He just needs a minute.
Yeah.
Soon, he is ready to take in the warm welcome.
How's everybody doing? All right.
With a few handshakes along the way,
It's a whole lot different than the last time we did.
A whole lot different.
everyone gets in place for the dedication ceremony, where some of Operation Finally Home's primary partners, including the Dallas Builders Association,
Glad to be here.
Copart, Winston Homes, the City of Irving, and NEC pay tribute to Major King and his service.
We believe this is transformational, and we think it's transformational for this family. But as we talk to the mayor, we also know that it's transformational for this community.
We're looking at a real American hero here today.
The kind words and generous gesture begin to make an impact on Major King.
It all just hit me at once, and those emotions and feelings that I would tend to hold inside, I just couldn't hold on to it.
Next, it is Major King's turn to share his gratitude. He talks about the low points he endured after the Army said his injuries made him unfit to serve.
I left saying, how am I going to continue providing for my family? I felt hopeless. I was lost. Emotionally, I was down because the one thing I loved so much and have given my life to was gone.
Among all his words of thanks, his most touching tribute is for his children.
All you guys gave me hope when I stopped believing in myself. You all helped me to reclaim my life by not giving up on me during my darkest times. You all would often say to me, Dad, we love you and we want you to get better because we need you. To this day, I don't know how you all found the strength to keep me lifted, but you did.
Clearly, he has a lot of love for his family, a family he now considers exponentially larger.
This here's my new family, being here in Irving.
And that is something they are all ready to celebrate.
Welcome home.
Back inside, Major King has time to check out more of his home, including a walk-in closet.
Okay, so I have to buy some more clothes.
And he greets more of the team behind it all.
I told myself, don't shed any tears, get through with it.
Now, everyone is looking to the future. Just a few minutes earlier, Irving Mayor Rick Stover said he's ready to do this all again.
We're going to take a little challenge. We're going to start that challenge today. There's no reason in a city the size of Irving that we can't come together as a community with the corporate base that we have and raise the dollars needed and the volunteers needed to do a home like this every year.
We haven't had, as the Dallas Builders Association, the opportunity to partner with a municipality like this, and Irving's really blazing a trail for us.
This is what is impactful. This is why we're here, is to make sure we impact our residents in a positive way.
And Major King is clear about his goals.
I do want to help other veterans, like you're doing for us. I think that is my next calling and purpose.
He is working to move beyond the dark days he has told us about in the months we've known him.
There was a time that life almost came to an end for me just outside of combat.
So what a change from that moment of isolation that you're talking about to today.
What a change is that sense of hope that I had lost. That hope is back there. I have a purpose.
Even on a cloudy day, it's going to be nothing but sunshine.
They are moving forward as a family, the result of a community coming together to serve a man who served his country.
This is part of the American dream, being a homeowner. I'm a homeowner.
And we have a few updates to pass along. Irving City Council approved using some city-owned lots for future projects with Operation Finally Home, so we can expect to see more homes for vets in the future. And Major King launched his own charity called Vets What's Next to help connect veterans with the resources they need, and he has gotten involved with several local groups. The city of Irving completed several big projects in 2019. The Irving Golf Club opened after $5 million in improvements to the municipal course formerly known as Twin Wells. Along with the revamped course, the clubhouse is renovated and features a restaurant and bar. The Campion Trail now extends from Sam Houston Trail Park under MacArthur Boulevard and into Capel. More expansions and other trail projects are in the works, including some that are already under construction, such as this one along Rock Island Road. And at downtown Irving, Millennium Fountain is now a lot more colorful. Crews added new LEDs as part of an overall upgrade project. The biggest project to mark completion was the Westin Irving Convention Center Hotel, and we covered the grand opening party. With the groundbreaking, construction, and ribbon cuttings all complete at the Westin Irving Convention Center, the only thing left is to party.
This is our way of saying thanks.
An early reception for city leaders featured mocktails. Then for the main event, this unusual sight. Guests have a hand getting their first drinks.
I don't know what did they do. What do they do if you take it?
I think you're supposed to.
Thank you. Thank you.
Inside the hotel's restaurant, Mesa Mezcal, they enjoy food and photo ops inside and out on the patio, which boasts a view of the Irving Convention Center.
Oh, it's awesome. The scenery out here is really great. It just looks really modern. I love it.
We've got a great venue here. We've been blessed with great owners and the partnership with the city, and it's a chance to show it off.
While they enjoy the party, people here are also eager to talk business. A lot of these guests are associated with local events.
My mother has an annual convention every year at the Irving Convention Center, and so we were so excited that there's a new hotel right next door.
All of that activity, along with other nearby attractions and business, is helping to keep occupancy rates high.
Well ahead of goals. It's been solid booking and business and fun.
We've seen great response. I mean, the people that are staying here are loving it. It really works out well. We've had a couple of major conventions where the people actually were staying here and using the convention center the way it was supposed to be designed, and it works.
This party is on the move with plenty of surprises.
Intrigue, mystery, and a little bit of something that they don't expect.
As guests check out the Bonvoy suite, they take in a tune from the tub.
The moment that you speak, I want to go play hide and seek.
Then for more upbeat jams, we head to the main ballroom.
I think it's fantastic. The energy is electric. I love to dance. I can't believe they brought Emerald City here. That's one of my favorite bands.
So get out your seat, jump around, jump around.
And at this spot too, there's another unique way to catch a drink.
I was going to wear that. I'm so glad I didn't, because then there would have been two of us.
But there is a serious thought behind these attractions wheeling around and hanging above.
It's your chance to show your clients what you're capable of, right? And to show them how you've imagined the spaces to be working so that they can see how those spaces might work for them.
This place looks awesome.
When you've got a great hotel like a Westin next to a great convention center, then you're going to see more and more convention business coming here. That's good for the local tax base. The more people that come to Irving, the more they're impressed with it.
Beyond showing off their moves on the dance floor, some meeting planners are ready to sashay their groups this way.
You know, I want to get in my attendees' head and see what they like. And food, feed them well, give them entertainment, give them a beautiful property, and you've knocked it out of the park. So that makes me look good.
The party moves up to the Vibe Pool Bar.
This whole vibe is nice, so I'm loving it.
It always features a view, and on this night, a rainbow.
The beautiful rainbow, it's for Pride Month.
Or this hotel might be thought of as the mythical pot of gold at the end, but bringing real business and dollars.
Well, I know it's brought 2 of my meetings so far, so I think it's going to bring a lot to the city.
While this party is drawing to a close, people we talked to throughout the night are eager to share thoughts on the impact that will continue.
What the citizens really need to understand is we've got a convention center the city owns. We've got an entertainment venue that the city owns. And the hotel we have an agreement with that it's financed for a certain number of years on the tower itself. And then at the end of the debt being paid off, the city also owns a hotel. So we own pretty much about $750 million worth of real estate right here at this corner that we're utilizing to make sure that the businesses continue to come here.
You know, there used to be absolutely nothing out here. And so you look now and there's all these things going on, and concerts and music and restaurants and everything. It's really, I think it's a welcome change.
Wow, it's been so many years to make this deal happen, and we're just so happy that Irving's finally got their convention center hotel.
Reasons enough, they believe, for this big party spanning locations throughout the Westin.
Oh, it's wonderful. They brought out the best. It's a great city. It's a great hotel.
Overall, it was a big year for hotel investment. The Westin DFW Airport, you see here, got extensive renovations, as did the Marriott Dallas Las Colinas. Common areas and guest rooms are all refreshed. The Town Place Suites by Marriott Dallas DFW Airport North Irving opened, and several other hotels are under construction. 2019 also brought a lot of new restaurants to the Toyota Music Factory, the entertainment and dining destination owned by the city of Irving. Sure, there is a lot of fun to be had there, and keeping all of those guests safe at that attraction was the focus of a large public safety exercise. Excited fans captured clips of the opening night of Mariah Carey's new tour at the Pavilion at the Toyota Music Factory in Irving. As we have seen, the venue is proving to be a draw for top performers and large crowds. 3 days after Mariah's performance, a training exercise looked at what might happen if any of those events held here had ended much differently.
This is a great exercise for all of our public safety personnel to be able to practice for a real-life event that could happen here in Irving.
And people, when they come to a show, they want to have fun, and they want to know that they're safe.
When bad things happen, they expect us to run in. If we're going to run in, we got to have our motor skills, our muscle skills, all that trained to do what we need to do.
So let's set the stage. In this scenario, 8,000 people are here for a concert, and the crowd is hyped when a van just drove through a crowd and crashed into the venue. Watch closely and you can see two men. One goes up the stairs and we'll follow him later. Another goes inside the main entrance. He is wielding a machete and hurting anyone in his path. Officers already stationed at the venue take him down quickly. Concert goers are in panic, but responders are focused.
The first call to 911 was a vehicle collision into a crowd.
The first officers to arrive help tend to the injured and try to make sense of what is going on.
And they relay that back to dispatch, and as they realize that this is bigger than just a few people or just a small isolated event, they're able to call in more resources.
We still don't have control of the scene at the moment. What we understand is that we have two suspects that came into the building here while this concert was going on. There are casualties, I'm not sure to what extent.
Soon, the Irving Police Tactical Team arrives.
They're highly trained police officers, trained for this kind of call where you don't know what you exactly need. They have the special weapons, they have all of the tactics that they need.
Armed with both weapons and the knowledge they have gained from other officers,
Watch the right, watch the right.
They start going through the building and deploy drones to get a full view of what's happening, all while firefighters start treating the injured.
We can tell you that it's multiple victims and we're considering it a mass casualty incident. That's why we have so many resources here.
Another part of the exercise simulated rumors spreading on social media and causing concern for nearby residents.
We were able to involve our CIC, which is our Criminal Information Center, to test our rumor control policies.
So we just need people to stay away.
Police teams are continuing their work carefully because emergencies are often unpredictable and they want to be ready.
To experience this, even though we all know it's not real, it still ramps up the adrenaline.
Hey, you okay? Are you okay?
Causes you to have to think through all of your training.
How many steps ahead do you have to be thinking?
You have to be able to formulate plan A through Z in your head at any given time.
Remember that man who darted up the stairs right after the initial crash?
Everybody's gonna die!
He just took his crime spree to another level.
All right, we got a hostage up there.
Actually, it's two hostages, and it's only getting worse. The police department's drones help monitor the situation, and there is even more happening here that we cannot see. Snipers are in place, and hostage negotiators are at work.
Hey, stop! 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 Do you have any devices on you?
After some time, one hostage is free, but with explosives involved, police do not take any chances, so they're patient. Soon, this situation comes to a climax.
Got a bomb! Please don't shoot! Please!
The last hostage is free and the bad guy taken out. But for these first responders, the exercise is not over. Next up, a process called a hot wash.
This is a learning environment, and the whole idea behind this entire exercise was to make ourselves better.
Certainly opportunities for us to learn, opportunities for us to improve, but that's why we do that, so that we can identify those areas in which we need to work.
Was there an emergency assault plan in place at that point?
This exercise is part of a nationwide security focus by venue operator Live Nation.
Public safety is an incredibly important part of our business and what we do in this changing time. Events like this give us an opportunity not only to work with our team on our processes, but it gives us a chance to also work with local law enforcement. The City of Irving is a great partner for so many things that we do here.
Even though some of the images from this day can be disturbing, organizers hope the experience will help people focus on the fun here, confident that emergency responders know what to do.
That's the main thing, is for people to come out here, have a good time, feel safe and secure, and spend their money in Irving.
Making the pavilion at the Toyota Music Factory safe and successful for everyone. And let's stay with the topic of public safety as we introduce you to Police K-9 Jitsu.
This is what I've always wanted to do since I got into police work. Since before I was ever a police officer, I've always wanted to be a dog handler. Good dog. I am Officer Jody Jones with the Irving Police Department. This is Canine Jitsu. He is a 2-year-old Czech Shepherd. Irving Police Canine, if you're in here and don't come out, I'll send my dog and you will be bit. This is how Jitsu would be deployed if we were doing an alarm or a burglary call where we thought there was somebody still inside. We would deploy the dog into a dangerous situation like that as opposed to a human because he's a little bit quicker and he can find things a little bit faster than us. Is that him? Good dog.
They allow us to do some things that just from a human standpoint we can't do. Dogs obviously have a better sense of smell, keener sense of hearing, and can go places we can't always get a police officer into.
Oh, he's so good. That's a good dog.
I, Canine Jitsu, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties as a police dog for the city of Irving.
So our swearing day back in October was a super proud day for me, and getting there and having him and getting him sworn in and getting him a real badge number, it was kind of an accomplishment of a dream.
Congratulations.
Toss it up and grab it.
Jitsu and Officer Jones are beginning to learn the ropes with Officer Hamilton and Barron being that mentor group.
Aaron Hamilton runs Canine Barron. Barron's been in service for about 4 years. He has been involved in some really serious stuff here in Irving, saving officers' lives. That's a buddy.
There's always that element of danger for both the dog and the handler.
What a guy. Much more friendly than my dog. Shut up. He's very defensive. He just kind of lets people know that he's not a pet. He is definitely a working dog, and he wants people to respect him.
Now, when he first met you, what did
he growled at me. He can be very intimidating. He greeted me with that low growl, and I thought, okay, buddy, well, I'm just going to give you some space. And he did not recognize the stars on my collar at all.
When we're at the house, he's actually more relaxed and more social.
What a lot of people lose sight of are these are still animals. They're still dogs, man's best friend. They still want to be loved on. They still want to be taken care of.
Police canines are just more than just big, mean, biting things. With him, he's certified to find marijuana, ecstasy, cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamine. He'll get his nose up in the air and he'll follow his nose to it. He's not even using his eyes, and then when he finds it, sticks his nose on it and sits his butt down. Good dog.
Our residents should see this program as something that heightens their level of security. They're very competent in what they do.
Boy, let's go, friend. You won. Come on, friend. For me, personally, he's the best partner I can have. I know exactly what he's going to do because I trained him to do it. He'll ignore you. He's got what he wants. Good boy. And I know that he is loyal to me as it comes.
Good boy. And an update, you can see here that Jitsu is making an impact. In this case, he helped the Drug Enforcement Agency in a recent methamphetamine seizure. Jitsu is not the only dog to work in the police department. We have also gotten to know Ritter, and we celebrated with him at his birthday party.
Happy birthday to you.
It's the third birthday for Ritter.
Ritter is super sweet, very calm, very playful.
Really goofy.
Happy birthday.
The people here are celebrating with cupcakes. Ritter gets special dog goodies, gifts,
Oh, happy birthday, big one.
and a lot of attention.
Good job.
Of course, not every dog gets such a big birthday celebration, but not every dog does what Ritter does. He's not always a party animal. He works here at Irving's Family Advocacy Center.
Having Ritter added a level of sophistication to what we do over here at the FAC that you don't know you're missing until you then get it.
I think initially our hope was just that it would create a more positive and enjoyable experience for clients who came into our center. I didn't realize that kids were going to be leaving here laughing.
That is a big impact because the children getting counseling and interviews here in these rooms have endured some awful times.
Physical abuse, sexual abuse, neglect, human trafficking. When they see him, immediately they light up, they relax, their shoulders relax. I don't want to say completely forget why they're here, but it definitely shifts the mood.
Tell me about an example of where Ritter made a difference.
I had one child who was very nervous and was just wringing her hands and almost not talking, almost at the point of tears. And once Ritter came in, she immediately relaxed. She got down on the floor.
Little kids that are telling him that they love him and that they want to see him again.
The team has a number of similar testimonials from Ritter's 9 months here. Last November, he graduated from Canine Companions for Independence in Irving.
Presenting Ritter today are his puppy raisers, the Winter family of the Woodlands, Texas.
The Houston area family that raised Ritter handed him over at the emotional ceremony. The Winters spent the first months of Ritter's life getting him used to a lot of people and potential distractions. They also taught him basic commands, which got him ready for advanced training.
You look very handsome.
The Winters family returned to Irving to see Ritter on his birthday.
It was great. He remembered us. It was really sweet.
It was kind of sad to see him after such a long time, but overall it was really nice to see him. He was enjoying what he was doing and making other people happy.
To be able to know that he's helping other kids our age and younger and just making such an impact and helping them just be happier and less stressed, I think it's so surreal to see him doing this kind of work.
Ritter, get.
The Winters got to see one way Ritter helps.
Hold. Some of the things that he does that just brightens kids' faces is, we have snack bags for the kids, and he will carry those snack bags into the rooms for the kids, and they just think that is so neat and so fun.
That is so impressive.
And it turns out there is much more to Ritter's job than anyone expected.
It wasn't our intention that he would work with the staff, but we've seen lots of people come in and say, man, I have a bad day, I need to see Ritter.
Our employees are exposed to that same trauma through interviewing those victims. And so a lot of times they need to decompress and they need to clear their minds and come spend some time with Ritter enables them to do that.
Yeah, it's been a great benefit for everyone in the building.
Okay, buddy.
For the Winters family, seeing all that Ritter is doing makes the separation easier.
Yeah, I think about him a lot.
Yeah, and that's the one thing we hear so much is how do you give him up? And it's just the best feeling in the world. We do it again in a heartbeat, right?
Because I know not only is he helping a lot of kids, but he himself is still being his happy, goofy self.
Police badge on.
We thank them immensely. I am so glad that they were able to come and they can still see him and be part of Ritter's life and to see what he's doing, and it would not be possible without them.
And he goes from playing and being silly to a professional just like that.
So for all of the work he does and all of the love he gives, Ritter is getting plenty of rewards on this day.
Donuts?
Oh, because he's a police dog?
His favorite appears to be the doggy ice cream.
Yeah. Oh, that's so yummy, buddy.
And just about everyone who sees him leaves with a party favor that he sheds.
He does. He absolutely sheds. Not good for a blue uniform at all. Because when Ritter's been around.
He does leave his mark for sure.
Or another way to look at it is a dose of
Ritter glitter.
One way to remember the impact Ritter is making in Irving.
It's like best day ever.
Each year, one of our favorite moments with police is seeing how officers interact with children during the Penny Drive for Special Olympics. This year, the theme was comic book superheroes. And feel free to dance along to this.
So today we're doing our ceremonial penny bucket pickups for Texas Special Olympics.
So a little bit of a theme this year.
Superheroes theme. So this year we are all dressed in different superheroes, whether it's capes and accessories or full-blown costumes.
The students love participating, donating money, and just being a part of this great, great cause.
And you've got some moves.
I try to.
At the Penny Drives, we've been just flying it around, showing the kids. We've also been getting some footage of the different events, which gives us kind of a different perspective.
I saw Wonder Woman, Captain America. I saw him running through the halls.
We appreciate the police officers so much here in Irving. I think it's very important that the kids see that side of them.
This is great. We love to see this and support every single year. I think we raised over $1,000 this year.
I love this, love all the enthusiasm, the kids show, and the money that they raise for Special Olympics. It's awesome.
It's a really special thing to help people. I think it's actually pretty cool that they do this for us since we raise money for them.
Oh, this is phenomenal.
hanging out with the kids and having them be a part of something that we're so heavily involved with.
Who's the best dancer here?
What did you think of Charlie's dance moves?
They were good. I need to start practicing my moves to keep up with the kids out here. I always revert back to the same old moves of the 80s and 90s.
And on this campus, they have the Irving Stars Special Olympics team, so you get to see them. What does that mean?
I think it's great. You see, they're all participating and having a good time, and we love working with them.
I think it's absolutely important that, you know, they get the attention that they deserve. I think it's important that, you know, they're included in being a part of the community.
We just raise money for them, and we want them to have a good time and come together as one family.
This is wonderful for the kids. I love it. I love the energy, and they're just excited for what they have done for Special Olympics.
Tell me what you did to raise money.
This year we did it again. We had students sell snacks after school.
Yes, pickles is our secret. I think this year we went through 10 jars, the big ones, or more, because they were selling really fast.
There are some other creativity things that students did.
I'm very impressed with the moves. I teach them a lot of moves, but they also teach me some moves.
Can Captain America handle this craziness?
Oh, it's a blast. So much fun watching the kids.
This is a wonderful dance party.
You know, it's all about a relationship with the community, especially with the younger community.
This is our third day this week, and I think I've got as much energy right now as I did when we started with the first school on Monday. I could keep going.
So much fun. And the Special Olympics Summer Games moved to San Antonio this year, and a few Irving officers traveled there to show support for the athletes. Now to another inspiring story coming from the sports world. 2019 marked the 10th year that Miracle League teams played at Joe Taylor Field at Cottonwood Creek Park. We revisited the park to see the long-lasting impact and the unveiling of a new memorial. Sounds of the symphony are adding to the fanfare as the Miracle League's spring season in Irving winds down.
Whoa!
Trent Rowe is first on the field for some pregame warm-up with his mom.
Good swing.
Trent is 12 years old.
He has Down syndrome. He's doing good, and we have not had any issues.
He's just a ball full of energy. You know, we just adore him.
It's time to play ball. And in the Miracle League, the rules are a little different.
The most important rule is to have fun. Any ball that's hit, we're running it and playing it around.
There you go. Good hit.
And then the last batter of the inning, obviously, will be the home run batter designated to essentially clean up all the bases.
Yes.
Here, the pride and the impact are more important than precise rules. Organizers and parents see the difference this game can make.
Oh, I'm so proud of him. I try not to get too emotional about it, but you know, we're just so proud of him and the courage that it takes for him to come out there and do this.
It is a big change from his first games about 5 years ago.
He was real shy. He didn't want to run. He just wanted to stay hidden.
There you go. Good hit.
They need this to feel more comfortable around other people and to be more social.
Every time they come across that plate and I got a home run, you can't help but just be excited for them because they are so excited.
There you go. Good job. Good job.
There are no age limits here. Joanne is celebrating her 33rd birthday on this game day.
There you go.
And the players have a range of needs. Adam is visually impaired.
Somehow he senses that ball.
Adam and all of the others inspire Francis Taylor.
I guess that's why I keep at 83. I keep coming back up
83.
of tomorrow.
She is the widow of Joe Taylor. As we documented years ago, he pushed to get this league and this field in Irving. This year marks the field's 10th anniversary.
Even though I'm semi-disabled and have to use a walker, I still want to be where he did this.
What a beautiful hit by Adam Maynard. All right, good job.
His daughter chairs the Miracle League.
Of course, Dad has the best seat in the house, so it's an honor.
Sadly, Joe Taylor is not the only loss.
We do want them to be essentially our angels in the outfield.
That is the reason behind this new memorial unveiled in a somber moment at Cottonwood Creek Park.
In loving memory of our Miracle League team in the sky.
The family of Nelson Aguilar turned out to hear from all of those who have memories and hugs to share.
Nelson and I particularly had a really interesting bond. I mean, I would always kind of hang out with him, and I could get him excited and riled up, and so really that was a hard one. And so I think his parents and I became very close. It's not just about losing a ball player from Miracle League. It really is truly like losing family.
I'm feeling sad because I lost my son. Every day remember my son. I appreciate everything what they is doing.
Though they remember the lives lost, they also look at the lives changed here.
Come on, Adam. There he goes.
And all of those moments of victory that still resonate even a decade in.
Are you trying to make me cry? Well, it just warms my heart.
The player's success and personal growth extend well beyond this field.
Really with his self-esteem, I think that helps a lot. He was involved in a talent show, and we weren't sure if he was going to be able to get up on stage and, perform, and he did.
I hope it helps him get to the point to where there's no obstacle. He can do whatever he wants to do and be successful at it.
All right, Brent, let's give them a high five when they come across that play. Good job.
Home run.
Organizers are looking at the future.
How do I clean up the bases?
We have 6 teams and we're growing, hopefully to have 8 next spring.
And we want to actually add some additional sports, which I think would be really cool, like some flag football, maybe some soccer.
For now, they are celebrating this game.
Good game, guys.
This season, and how they are showing us why this is called the Miracle League. Next up, we have another touching story of how community involvement is making all the difference. A Nimitz High School graduate just completed her first semester at the University of Texas. In high school, she achieved the level of salutatorian while keeping her struggle private from most people. But she shared it at the moment when she was center stage, and it made a huge impact.
This is amazing. And
Sarah Escobar knew she was coming to the Dallas Marriott Las Colinas for a graduation party and some financial help for college expenses. But that's not the whole story.
She only knows that we've covered her deposit.
She is about to get bigger news than she expected.
She doesn't know that we are almost at her full tuition in money that we've raised. Where's the drum roll? We're at $9,200.
That surprise comes after she made some unexpected revelations of her own at graduation.
Hello, friends, family, and teachers. I've been homeless since September of 2017.
She delivered that speech as salutatorian, number 2 in her class at Nimitz High School.
When I felt that nothing I did would matter and no amount of effort I put forth would change my situation. But I'm still here, learning to endure the pain and enjoy the good days and still trying to make my impact upon this world.
Her words made a big impact.
I thought, I've got to write about this. It's such a story, it needs to be told. And so I went right home and wrote both in my Facebook and on the Dallas Morning News, and had an incredible response.
We've got to do something. I mean, this little girl needs our help, and if we're not there to help her, she's not going to go to school.
Members of the Irving Hispanic Chamber of Commerce started collecting money and gifts to help her get ready for the fall semester at the University of Texas at Austin.
That's the beautiful thing about Irving.
All of this attention is a big change from her days at Nimitz.
We stayed in a shelter for a few months. We stayed in a van for a few months, and we stayed in motels.
Throughout all of that, what motivated you to stay focused and still able to not only get your studies done, but excel?
Well, basically, if I didn't excel in all my classes, then I'm just gonna stay in the same situation I'm in right now. So I know that if I want change, then I'm going to have to work for it.
When she found out she made salutatorian, she decided to share some of what led to some of her family's struggles as part of the working poor.
Sometimes it's because of bad decisions, and sometimes it's because of some inevitable fate.
When she gave her speech at graduation, I was embarrassed at first because I guess I wasn't expecting her to be so raw and open, you know. But then I was so proud of her that I just started crying.
I am grateful for my upbringing. It has taught me to be humble, grateful even, but has also motivated me to the extent that I will not be stopped.
Sarah hopes her story will inspire other people to see that they could also overcome adversity. What's your message to these people and these donors out here tonight who are supporting you?
I'm so incredibly thankful for them. Like, I want to be them one day, you know. I want to have the financial stability to be able to like reach out and help somebody else like me.
I just appreciate everything because basically they're doing everything for her that I wasn't able to do. That I've always wanted to do for her. They're making everything happen for her.
What are your career goals?
I really want to be a dentist. So after I major in biology and I graduate with my bachelor's degree, I want to try to get into dental school and get my doctorates in dental surgery.
Sounds like you have it all figured out.
Yeah, kind of.
Career goals all figured out and supported by hearts and wallets in Irving. And we do have an update on that story.
She's doing well. It took her a while to get accustomed to the new lifestyle, her independence, and like she said, the fact that she had a bed to sleep at night. But she's doing really well. And we were able to we raised $13,200.
The Irving Hispanic Chamber recognized some of the donors who got the ball rolling on that fundraising effort during the group's annual gala. From there, we move to a program that is showing young people that education extends beyond the classroom. Brett Wheeler has the story of the Irving 360 Youth Civic Academy.
Welcome to the Irving Youth 360 Civic Academy. It's a familiar program with a new twist.
And it's modeled after the Irving 360 Civic Academy that the performance team puts on for our adult residents.
And just like the adult program, the goal is to give participants a behind-the-scenes look at how the city of Irving works.
I've just found civics really interesting and find it interesting to see how a city works and how people behind the scenes make everything run smoothly.
About a dozen students were selected to take part in the 11-week program, seeing everything from Irving libraries.
If we can put the books we like out and try to talk somebody into checking them out and taking them home, that's our happy place.
To parks and recreation.
So there's actually a lot of behind-the-scene work that goes into preparing a ball field for nightly games.
While touring Irving parks, students learn when it comes to planning playtime, it's no game. And breaking a sweat while getting a glimpse of the renovations at Center Park Rec Center. What do you think of it so far? Tiring, but educational. And with this program, organizers aim for these students to get the most from the experience.
So part of the application process is they have a part where they put in what they hope to get out of the program. That's kind of how we chose the students that we had.
For 14-year-old Sammy Ibrahim, this was her opportunity to get out and try something new.
So I wanted to participate in this program because I am a couch potato. I'm going to admit it. So I thought, why don't I try to get out of my comfort zone, go around my city, which I've lived in for a good deal now, and really see other people's jobs, because I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, so it's like a good experience to expose myself.
Austin is where all the And she's not alone. Mariam Hamed, who is also enrolled in the program, feels that this is a good way to get to know her city.
I've lived here for 6 years now, but I really haven't, I don't really know anything about Irving as much, so I finally get to just explore. And I've been to places I've never even known existed.
Places like the Police and Fire Training Academy.
We had a presentation inside of the training center, and then after that we came and we got to see how fire trucks work, and we got to play with the hoses and that kind of stuff, and they showed us the tools, the inside of it. It was very fun and very enriching experience.
Also enriching their experience, a trip to the Hunter Farrell landfill, the only place where it's encouraged to talk trash.
So we just have to be mindful when we throw things away, how it's going to affect someone.
I didn't really think that there was this much to a landfill. I had the impression that landfills are really dirty and not really a side that cares as much for the environment as it seems, and I'm glad I got that cleared out.
It's a little different than taking out the trash at home, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's a big difference.
I didn't know that they had like a water cannon for the landfill, which I found like super duper cool.
These students say that this program has come with many cool experiences. But before they finish this program, they are presented with a certificate to remind them of their time here.
So tonight we'd like to recognize the students that participated in the program.
But the takeaway here will hopefully go beyond that and encourage them to become more active in their community as they get older.
The program is really amazing. It's really interesting too, and to be honest, I learned a lot from it.
A very few amount of people can take a look around the city, see what career there is, see what they haven't seen, and it gives them an opportunity to learn more about the world.
A world where they can make their own impact and be able to share their 360 view with the next generation. Brett Wheeler for CitySource.
In October, a special observance of Domestic Violence Awareness Month returned to the Mandalay Canal. Here's our coverage of Illuminate Irving. As the sun sets over Las Colinas,
I want them to feel hope.
On this night, there is an added source of light.
And it's a powerful testament.
Dozens of paper lanterns are floating down the Mandalay Canal, all meant to highlight a crime often kept in the dark.
The community needs to know about what's going on related to domestic violence.
That's why the Irving Police Department is hosting Illuminate Irving, a night of remembrance and hope. Earlier, people wrote heartfelt messages on those lanterns. Some of the stories behind them are heartbreaking.
Back in 2011, our aunt was murdered. She was murdered by her husband of 11 years, and she was dumped in a river.
Before her case made news headlines, they had all seen signs of trouble in her relationship.
We tried helping her, and she never wanted help. She thought it was okay. She thought it was fine.
There are so many victims who don't know a way out of that cycle, who think that remaining in that environment is their only option.
That's why agencies are out here, to let people know that there are a range of groups ready to help.
We actually provide services in 40 different languages. And with multicultural case managers, someone who understands your cultural background can help you seek the help that you need.
I think the need has always been there, but I think with the Me Too movement and with the rhetoric kind of changing in the community, we see victims coming forward a lot more. More and more survivors, hopefully, both males and females, are starting to come forward.
About 200 cases.
Some are here to share their pride in what they have overcome.
It has been going on in my family for generations, and I just got tired of seeing it, and so I decided to step up and do something about it.
Others are here to show their support for victims with thoughtful messages on the lanterns.
I think it's a significant thing to be mindful of and something worthwhile for the community to put some effort behind.
We realize that's a challenge, and so we try to face it head on, and this is just one opportunity for people to come together and bring light to a real challenging situation.
Do not procrastinate, because it could be the difference between life and death.
Several speakers share their experiences, both personal and passed down.
Hi, my name is Abigail, and I am 9 years old.
Abigail is the daughter of the police department's victim services supervisor. At what age did you start talking about this topic?
We actually started talking about it when we did Illuminate Irving 2 years ago. I told her that we were going to go fill out a lantern for her pops, and she wanted to know why. I found out that my pops lived in a very scary home. His father hit him and his mom. I'm really proud of her. I mean, it's exciting that she's sharing that message, that she's willing to share a part of our family with everyone else. I think we should all do our part so that kids like me can grow up in homes with no violence.
We all know someone.
With the speakers and lanterns all complete,
In memory of Maritza Andrade, that we love her and we miss her so much.
people are ready to focus on the Mandalay Canal, their specific lanterns, and this one.
The first lantern to be released on the water is in recognition of the 211 Texans who were murdered this year by domestic violence.
For For the people at this event, their pain and heartbreak will never just float away, but they do want to see this focus, this illumination on the issue of domestic violence.
It's amazing, it actually brings tears to our eyes. It feels good to have people there for you.
A lot of other events also captured attention this year. For the first time, the city of Irving participated in the world's largest swimming lesson. Simultaneously, across the world, young people learned potentially life-saving swimming and water safety skills. And the 7th annual Irving Marathon drew a record number of runners. It has also launched a series of spin-off social runs and other events, all with the goal of making Irving a hotspot for runners. Then there was the Park Place Luxury at Supercar Showcase. To promote it, Park Place gave me the chance to drive some crazy expensive rides. And I gotta tell you, it was a lot of fun, but also a little nerve-wracking. You see me here in a McLaren and then a Rolls-Royce SUV that sells for more than $400,000. All of that led up to the big event, which we were there to cover. Car-loving crowds turn out at the Four Seasons Resort in Irving for the 3rd annual Park Place Luxury and Supercar Showcase.
Shelby.
Yes!
One of the first people we meet is 6-year-old Jude Abelman. He brings his knowledge
750 horsepower.
and observation
These tires are bigger than my arm.
to every car he sees. So this is like his dream event.
He's been looking forward to this for months.
He's going to be looking for the cars that match the ones he already owns.
This one is a Hot Wheel Lamborghini.
So just right for a 6-year-old, but we're focusing on the full size here. And this is the place to see unique cars from many collectors.
I brought a 2014 Boxster S here. It's the only Boxster in our Porsche Club's group today.
What is the best thing about owning a Porsche?
First of all is the people you get to meet who also own Porsches because they're so enthusiastic about their cars. But the next thing truly is the engineering and the drive experience.
For new cars hitting the market, this is one we noticed getting a lot of attention.
Trying to figure out what it is, man. I mean, whatever it is, it's exotic.
A lot of people I've been hearing asking, what is this?
Yeah, so it's Pininfarina's first hypercar. It's all electric, almost 2,000 horsepower. So it goes 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds.
The starting price, $2.2 million. We moved in for a closer view.
Obviously, it will get attention on the road, but I think a lot of the people who buy the car, they're collectors.
Seeing this car and the more than 300 others spread across the Four Seasons inspire a lot of people to dream. And some may even get the itch to buy.
We are in the car business, and people in Dallas do love their cars. There's something for everyone. Some people like the way they drive. Some people like the way they look. Some people like the performance. So no matter what it is, there's something here for all of them.
This event is also the ignition for economic activity in Irving.
Yeah, I think the impact is really good. I think it gives us another chance to show off the city of Irving, what all we have to offer for people.
We want things that show off the city, show off its great assets, and bring great prospects for companies or individuals to move here. It's a great opportunity to show it off.
There are certainly people that travel for this event that stay with us at the hotel. There's events at the hotel. So it's a great partnership.
I wanted to introduce a very special guest.
Park Place invited Doug Barnes to offer his testimonial as a repeat customer.
The experience for me has been a lot of fun.
But you're about to see there's a surprise twist. Dr. Barnes was in the market for a new Rolls-Royce.
He said, I just don't want to do black this time. I want something special. I want dark sapphire and mandarin. And I said, well, Doc, that's going to take 6 months.
How are you going to stand to wait that long?
Oh, wow. This is your Phantom, your highly bespoke. You don't have to wait 6 months to get the car.
Doug Barnes and his wife celebrate the delivery of their new car. How surprised were you by this?
Very surprised. I was not expecting this at all. I would say I was 100% surprised.
A big surprise addition to his collection. But even for people not going home with a new dream car, they are finding plenty to see. Motored up memories made at the Park Place Luxury and Supercar Showcase. Each show, we offer you a look at some adoptable pets from the Irving Animal Care Campus. For this Best of 2019, we have an update, success stories in this special edition of Pets of the Week.
Here at the Irving Animal Care Campus, there are plenty of pets who are ready to be adopted. And with the help of Irving Animal Services and DFW Humane Society, hundreds of them find loving homes each year.
To adopt a shelter pet is to really give them a new lease on life, because they kind of get back into an environment where they were before, where they feel loved and they feel comfortable and they feel at home. And so adopting a shelter pet is one of the best things you can do to really help the animals that we have here.
And for the many pets we have profiled for our segment, there are just as many success stories from people who have adopted from the Irving Animal Care Campus. Like Craig and Cass. They added Jeffrey and Bear to their family during the Clear the Shelters event.
I was going to say that I was actually at a dress rehearsal tech week for the musical Cats, and it was clean out the shelter day. I texted Cass on one of my breaks and was like, "Did you get us a new cat? Haha." And she responded, "I got 2 cats." And I said, "Oh, very funny." And then when I came home, she was like, "No, I really have 2 cats."
Cats like Jeffrey and Bear are considered harder to place because they are bonded, meaning they've spent a long time together and have a very close relationship.
When it comes to a bonded pair, not everybody wants to take on 2 pets at the same time. So it's much harder when they're a bonded pair because you want to send them home together, but the adopter needs to be willing to take on twice the work pretty much in integrating 2 animals into their house.
They're 8 years old, they're a bonded pair. We can't find anyone who's willing to take both of them, and I thought, they'd be a good fit in our household.
Cass and Craig say it was an easy call for them to adopt Jeffrey and Bear, but it didn't come without some growing pains.
I'm going to tell you, the first week was a little rough. Just 2 big cats in the household, and we had to work out where they were going to hang, and so they have a safe place, and their favorite place is my office upstairs. And so I will come home having left neat little piles on my desk, and there'll be papers everywhere.
Cass and Craig feel the Irving Animal Care Campus is the perfect place to find a furry friend.
And the shelter in Irving is just such a unique and special place. Every time I go in there, it just touches my heart because it's such a nice place.
Another pet who's living his best life is a dog named Bo.
He's the softest here he is.
From the moment that Bo came into the shelter, everybody fell in love with him. He was just a sweet dog. But then when our volunteer Brenda and her husband adopted him, we knew he was going to a great home.
Well, we decided to add a dog to our household. We already had one. And I told my husband about Bo, and he wanted to meet him, of course. And so we went down to the shelter, and he's like, "Well, what kind of dog is he?" Can't really tell just by looking. You can tell he's mixed. And a volunteer says, "He's a good dog."
At the time, Brenda and her husband had no idea how good of a dog Bo would actually be. But after a suggestion from a dog trainer, Brenda felt that Bo could do the most good as a therapy dog.
I didn't know much about therapy dog, and so I happened to meet a lady that her husband had a therapy dog. And so she told me about Linda Marler, who's in charge of the Baylor Therapy Dog Program. We arranged to meet, and they tested him. It's a very thorough temperament test. And we passed, and we've been coming to Baylor ever since.
We have close to right around 95 dogs in the program and 1 cat. I can't tell you how many times a day we walk out of a room and the patient says, "You made my day."
This is Bo. He'll give you a hug. He just loves people, and he loves coming to work. His Baylor uniform, when I get the bandana out, he gets so excited to come up here.
While Bo is having a good time at work, it isn't lost on Brenda that the patients get a lot from the experience as well.
Some of them get emotional. A lot of them miss their own dogs, and he has just provided them an outlet. They just always want him to come back.
Brenda says there are so many great pets like Bo at the Irving Animal Care Campus, all of whom just need a chance.
And every animal there could have a story like Bo. I mean, it might be a different route, but I mean, it's just loving, and they are just wonderful, wonderful animals, wonderful pets.
There's a personality type in dogs or cats for anybody, out there. If you want a small, quiet dog that just wants to sit in your lap, we've got that. If you want a larger dog that's going to go running with you or going to go run around the backyard and chase toys, we've got that for you, and everything in between. The best thing you can do to help a shelter pet is to adopt and give them a home and give them a second chance in life.
That and a little love can go a long way. Brett Wheeler for City Source.
Always great to see some happy new family members. Thanks a lot. The Animal Care Campus is located at 4140 Valley View Lane. It is open Tuesday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. Then on Saturday, the hours are 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Also, check out the websites you see on your screen for more adoptable animals. We already have a lot in the works for our next all-new edition of City Source. We'll have highlights from State of the City. And you see it's still under construction in this file video, but with a lot more of the work now complete, we'll take you to the soft opening of the Irving Archives and Museum. And we'll also show you the program to help Irving nonprofits called Share Tank. Those stories and more next time. Remember, you can always email us your thoughts on our stories. The address is ictn@cityofirving.org. Also, visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thecityofirving. Subscribe and you can be among the first to see our videos when they are posted. Also, leave us some likes while you're there. And that's it for this edition of City Source. Thanks to everyone who helped us out in 2019. Make it a great 2020, and we'll see you next time.